club president, club officers, fellow speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Pratiti Das Gupta and I am the etiquette and protocol master for this evening. It is my duty today to go through the house
Pratiti, to interrupt you,
This is to ensure our means to check, therefore, is that we are on mute. This can be done by clicking on the microphone icon that is at the bottom of your screen. This simple gesture eliminates any background noise and allows us to hear. I couldn't hear you, Casey.
Carry on. Pratiti, carry on.
Guys, I can't start on my video because I lost my uncle recently and we are having some kind of rituals over here. Right? Okay. So should I carry on?
Carry on, please.
Yeah, where was I? Do remember to click unmute when it is your turn to speak. Looking directly into the camera as you speak helps the audience to feel connected to you. You may click the gallery view at other times to see the friendly faces of the audience. Take some time to adjust yourself in relation to the camera such that at least the upper half of our body is visible to the audience. Adjusting the angle of the camera of your iPhone or iPad, iPhone or iPad is all that it takes to ensure that. If you would like to speak or get the attention of the MC, use the raise hand function. Scan the bottom of your screen for the icon which shows more or three dots. Click on it and scroll down to the raise hand function and you will be attended to. As you speak, do remember to keep to the allotted time. Our timekeeper for tonight is Shona George. The stopwatch on our screen is to help us to keep track of the time. If we happen to exceed the time allotted to us, we will unfortunately be muted. This is just to ensure that the program goes as scheduled. Your presence and participation in the meeting is much valued. Do use the Zoom reaction function, the applause and the thumbs up icon to show your encouragement and appreciation to the speakers. Thank you for bearing with me and listening to the house rules. Thank you for being such an attentive audience. The next item on the agenda is to introduce the MC for the evening. It is my pleasure to introduce Shona George, our master of ceremony for tonight. Now Shona, what not to tell about her? She is an accountant by training, having grown up in India and now living in Singapore. She is grateful for the many beautiful people and the many wonderful opportunities that she comes across here. She believes that nothing teaches us better than one's own experience. Life is an experience of our own creation. To quote Mr. Bankpain, the mission is the journey. Always up for a challenge, she likes to stretch herself and is a second time leading us as MC. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our master of ceremony, the very enigmatic and beautiful Shona George. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. George? Shona, over to you.
Thank you very much, Prati. And thank you also for the extra words that you used to describe me. Appreciate it much. Sorry that I can't see you today, neither can any of the rest of us here. But so glad to see you here and thank you for the lovely words. So good evening to everybody here. This is our 18th online meeting of the Agora Singapore Speakers Club. And as we all heard the introduction from Mr. Gay, it is thanks to his effort that we are all running around and doing all this with so much energy and enthusiasm. So today I'm the host for the evening. And what is my role as your host? It is to manage this meeting, which means that the meeting starts on time, ends on time, and all items in the program are successfully carried out within the time allotted. Now, at the moment, the time is 6 minutes past 6:30, so we are 6 minutes behind. But are we ready to start? Yes. I guess most of you are now familiar with the program. First, we have the opening address, followed by an impromptu speech session, which lasts about 30 minutes long. And we look forward to your participation in this learning exercise. Thereafter, we have 5 speakers tonight, 3 prepared speeches, and a special presentation as well. And we are fortunate to have volunteers to provide feedback to each of these 3 prepared speeches. And there is a 5-minute break later at about 8 o'clock, and then followed by a test and a closing address. And at about 9:30, we end the session. We would like you to stay on for the other announcements and a post-meeting debrief if time allows. So let me now introduce all the appointment holders for tonight. The ice-breaking session started at about 5:30, and we have Mike Nicholson here, who did the session for us. Mike is from the US, and he studied in Singapore from 1964 to 1967. So he did his secondary education here. From the numerous accounts that he shared with us at the Agora meetings earlier, we know how much he enjoyed his time here in Singapore. Although his degree is in comparative animal physiology, he worked in the field of human resources at an international level over the last 45 years. He is 71 years young and is thinking of retiring. Married to an Indonesian, he has now been living in Indonesia for the last 16 years, since 2004. His first trip to Bali in the year 1981 was as a tourist. The next time that he went there, it was on work as the human resources manager of an LNG plant in the jungle of Kalimantan from 1982 to 1984. He has been a member of the Indonesian Heritage Society and a volunteer tour guide at Museum Nasional Indonesia since 2008. He is also the Agora ambassador for Indonesia. Thank you very much, Mike, for managing the ice-breaking session with such ease. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much, Shona.
You're welcome. Let's give Mike a warm applause.
You have such a good memory. There is one slight change so that
Yes.
Albert is not offended. I'm not American. I worked for American companies for most of my working life. I was originally German, but now a British passport.
All right, that's good to know. So go.
I'm Orang Dunia. Orang Dunia, man of the world. I'm Orang Dunia.
Okay.
Man of the world.
Right. Thank you for that, Mike.
So much. Thank you so much.
I think I now remember your mentioning that you are. All right. So next, it was the etiquette and rules master for the evening. Today's was Pratiti Dasgupta. Pratiti is from India. She's currently pursuing her undergraduate studies in political science. A feminist, she is a member of the UN Girl Up community at the Calcutta chapter, where she's leading the content writing department. Pratiti is an avid reader and an amateur singer. She believes that Agora International is the perfect platform for honing your leadership and communication skills. Public speaking, according to her, is an art which can be mastered only with time. She feels that Agora is the place to get that experience. She is thankful for this wonderful initiative which Agora is, and looks forward to being part of this community. Pratiti, will you wave your hands or will you show us your face so that we can see you? Otherwise, let's give her a warm round of applause. Thank you for enlightening us about how to mindfully carry on, have an engaging and a smooth sailing meeting.
Thank you for the speech, for the wonderful introduction, Shona.
Thank you, Pratiti. Now, yet another person who calls for a warm introduction is our video conference director, who is Willie Lowe. It was Willie's birthday recently. I'm not sure whether he's here today, but a very happy birthday to you if you hear this. Willie is the president of Fushuan Toastmasters Club. He's very active in the Toastmasters movement. He is a visionary who is a pioneer for online Masters Club meeting. Let us give Willie a warm round of applause. Next is our timekeeper for the evening, and it's none other than Chong Lim, K. Chong Lim. Chong Lim is currently working at Amgen, a pharmaceutical company in Tuas, making drugs to treat osteoporosis. He is considered an essential worker during the circuit breaker time due to Amgen being a key sector. Chong Lim has been attending Agora meetings since the club started in Singapore about 2.5 years ago. He has played almost every role in Agora, from the MC to timekeeper to hosting the impromptu speeches to delivering prepared speeches, and at the last meeting, he delivered the closing address. So he strongly encourages everyone to do the same. Thank you, Chong Lim, for being here today and for helping us with the time. Appreciate it if you will wave your hands if you are anywhere among the durians. Okay, so let's give him a warm round of applause. Now, back to the meeting. The focus, as always, for tonight is again the same. It's back to basic. Let us remind ourselves of a few things. One is our feedback, which you agree is important. Whether the speaker told us what he promised to tell us, whether the content of the speech, does it make sense, and whether the body logically leads to the conclusion. These are some things for us to look out for. And so also is the audience is equally important. And your role, our role, is to provide the nurturing and supportive environment to the speakers. And this we do by clapping our hands when the speakers are introduced, clapping our hands when the speakers have finished speaking, and by smiling at the speakers and nodding in agreement when they are speaking. So now, without further ado, let us come to the meeting proper. Today, the opening address is being presented by Wilson Lowe. Wilson Lowe says that he is an ordinary guy, and I disagree. Wilson studied at Segamat, Malaysia, in a non-English speaking school. And not only did he pick up English in Singapore in the later years, but he did his first presentation in English at 18 years of age. And today, this is his second time that he is giving an opening address at Agora, the first being on 26th of March when he held our first online meeting. Wilson is not perfect, he says. He has his vulnerabilities, just like everyone else. He finds it tiring and suffocating to put on a mask to be someone who he is not in this world. He believes that vulnerabilities can be our greatest strength when we accept them as part of our life. With the understanding that everyone has their own voice and that it is powerful to use that voice to make a positive impact, Wilson is looking for platforms to get his voice out there, to reach out to people and be a positive influence in their lives. Besides his love to reflect, learn, and to talk to people about life, Wilson is also passionate to share his perspectives on Basi, it's a Chinese astrology, an ancient art of Chinese metaphysics. Wilson lives to speak and inspire people, enabling them to see new possibilities and be more powerful, confident, and be happier in life. So let us invite Wilson to deliver the opening address and give him a warm round of applause. Over to you, Wilson.
Thank you very much, Shona, for the wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, President Mr. Gay Banping, Vice President of Education, Casey Chen, MC of the day, Shona, and fellow members of Agora family. So today I would like to share with you a story about penguins can fly. So once upon a time, there was a penguin who surfed the internet and found a motivational speaker who specializes in training pigs to fly. Pigs, P-I-G-S, pigs. And the hottest seminar is Pigs Can Fly. So he asked the speaker whether he can also teach penguins to fly. So the speaker responded, of course, why not? It's a piece of cake. So then the penguin asked again, so but we have a group of penguins here and we can't really travel to your side. Can you come to the South Pole to teach us to fly? Now, the speaker said, South Pole is a bit far and it's quite expensive to travel there. But so they talk about it and they figure out and they raise the fund and make the travel arrangement. So the speaker went to the South Pole. Now, on the day itself, 100 penguins turned up for the event. They were all very excited for this. They know about this speaker and they have been very exciting to learn how to fly. Now the speaker only told them there were only two things you need to know in order to fly. Number one, flap your wings harder. Number two, believe in yourself. So they all flapped their wings very hard, really, really hard. But no one succeeded in flying. Then the trainer brought the ladders in, brought many ladders and put against the wall. So now he said, now all of you, start with the first rung. Jump on the first rung and then flap your wings really, really hard. Now all of them jump. Guess what? All of them fall. Okay. So then he said, now jump to the second rung and flap even harder. So they flap. Many try. But most of them fell down. Then out of the sudden, one penguin yelled, look at Wilson, look at Wilson. Wilson was flying and up in the air for 10 seconds. He did it. Now, every penguin was looking at Wilson the penguin. And once they saw Wilson was flying up there, they started to believe that it is possible for all of them to fly. So one by one, they started to fly 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and 30 seconds. Now, at the end of the day, all of them managed to fly as long as they want. So Penguins Can Fly was a very successful seminar. But guess what? The most amazing thing happened when it ended. When it ended, all of the penguins left. Each and every one of the penguin just walk. So, what is the moral of the story? Fellow Agorans, why are we here at Agora Singapore Speakers Club? Are we here for the titles, for the trophies? Yes, speaking skills are important. Presentation skills and communication skills are crucial for delivery of message. But most importantly, we are all here to become an effective speaker, a practitioner, to turn speaking into habit, to something that we can do spontaneously, naturally, and effectively.
Oh,
and
yeah.
how do we know we are effective? We are effective when we can get somebody to do something that they otherwise would not do, to get the sales, to get the deal, to get the promotion, to get the pay raise, to get all the opportunities in life. So Agora is a training ground for us to experiment, to make mistakes, to fail, and to learn, to become the penguins that can fly and be up in the air for as long as you want. But don't leave the seminar like the penguins. Don't leave the meeting without practicing anything that's useful for your life. Now, I would like to leave you with one quote. Success stems from knowing, but happens in the doing. Be a practitioner. Come to every meeting and make a difference in your life. Back to you, Shauna.
Thank you very much, Wilson. That was very inspiring. You are very right. Nothing happens by chance. It just happens by practice. Thank you for that very inspiring speech. Now, next we have is the impromptu speaking session. And we greatly look forward to everyone's participation in this segment. So the time, just let's all have a look at the time. The time allowed is 30 minutes. At 20 minutes, the green light will be flashed. At 25 minutes, the yellow, and at 30 minutes, the red light. And after which we have 30 seconds more, after which it is time to end the session. So to introduce this, our speech master for tonight, it's Carlson Hong. Carlson graduated from Singapore Poly with a diploma in electronics and communications engineering. He further honed his field support skills from the School of Hard Knocks. He enjoys solving problems and helping others to find a solution. With a motto of "You'll never try, you'll never know," he always appreciates the opportunities where he's able to get experiences. He has been leading the global customer support team for more than 20 years. As an advisor for a global service team for on-site support in US, Taiwan, China, Malaysia, Japan, and Singapore. He has worked as a team leader, striving to understand his teammates. He is now an international weight loss coach, coaching clients to lose weight and gain back their health. So, if you would like some help relating to health or weight loss, you know who to look for, none other than Carlson. Let's welcome Carlson to conduct the impromptu section. Welcome, Carlson. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Shona. Okay, today's impromptu session will be a very different one. Okay, basically, impromptu session is to train you to speak on the spot. All right, and today's session will be slightly special. If you remember, when you read at the newspapers, there is a column called Aunt Aggie. All right, it is a column whereby a lady actually gives advices to people who has problems and some solutions that they can try to solve their problems. Okay, so what we want to do today is that we are going to be Aunt Aggies to provide some advices to people who have some issues that they are facing right now. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is that we will need some volunteers now, and we'll go by the tikam tikam method, which is say the lucky draw method. So there are actually 15 titles, 15 questions for today, which you will give advice to. All right. So who will be the first one? Is there anybody who want to give a try first?
I saw Albert's hand.
Albert. Okay. Hi, Albert. There's a number from 1 to 15. So I'll post a question on the chat box, so that you can see what you will be answering for today. What is your number today?
The number is 1.
Number 1. Okay. What is your advice to a person who just lost his job?
I normally don't start my speech like using the word all right. But I have a friend who has a family, he has children, he has responsibility, and he has bills, and he has worked for his firm for over 25 years. And my good friend, upon entering work on one particular day, found out that he was no longer an employee or worker at this location. But he was good at it. And he came to me wanting to know, what should I do in a situation like this? And of course, we tend to look towards the future without hope because the future is unknown. So what I would say to him is, before you start to worry about what could happen in life in the future, as a friend, I would ask him to reflect back to all the things he's learned in the past and to use that as a catalyst to propel him into a better future. Think about the fact that you acquired all these skills. You have worked for this firm for all these years, which shows that you have accomplished something. You can put together a powerful resume. You were wise enough to put money away when you had the job so it could support you into your new future. But the most important thing that I would say is, all of those things that you have experienced are a part of life, and it's really to force you into a bright future. The job you had was good, but what is coming will be greater, because there's greater in your future. And I'm here to support you, and I'm here to cheer you on. And if you need any help or any money, go ask somebody else. Thank you.
That's a very good advice. Thank you, Albert. Okay, the next speaker is Pratiti. Pratiti. Okay, from 2 to 15. I'm sorry?
You said 2.
Number 2. All right. So the topic, what is your advice to a sad boy or girl who got rejected by the girl or boy of his dreams?
So when I was pure professional at this point, because I have got rejected by millions of persons of my dreams or millions of times. So I would like to start by saying that I had a sister once who was besotted by this guy in her in a lower grade, and she was very much taken by him. But the end, that guy turned out to be a douchebag and went off with her best friend. That was me. So the advice I would like to give that person is that look out for douchebags like this. Learn to identify people who are your friends, who are your real friends. Try to distinguish between people who are your friends, who are your well wishers, and who are your enemies. And don't wear a heart on your sleeves all the time. I guess infatuation is such a thing which occurs to all of us at some point of our life or the other. So the only advice I would give it to her is that don't take this kind of things very seriously. And when you meet the true love of your life, you will know it at the first instant. I'm a very romantic person who believes in this kind of cliche stuff and everything. But yeah, that's the only advice I can give it to her. And the trigger warning that I would like to give her is look out for douchebags. May it be in friends or be it may your lovers. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Pratiti. All right. The next speaker will be Trisha.
Hello.
Hi,
Yes,
Trisha.
hello.
So you have a 3 to 15.
Glad to be here. 3 to 15.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
I'll choose number 4.
Number 4. All right. So, what advice would you give to a patient in denial who doesn't believe that he has a 3rd stage cancer?
Ooh, okay. Wow. who doesn't believe. Okay, then. All right. Thank you for the question. Um, Wow, I think if anyone would ever have the moment where they were being told by maybe the doctor or by someone that they have a sort of disease, they have cancer, and that it's getting worse and they might not even have a chance to live anymore in the future, I think there's going to be a lot of people in denial, honestly, because this sort of thing is hard to take in. I think if someone were just to come up to me and say that, oh, you have third stage cancer and you only have a couple of months to live, I would also be in denial. I would probably feel a lot of regret, maybe, because there has been a lot of things that maybe in my life I've always wanted to do. So I think if I were to have a friend or I were to have somebody who was in denial, I would do my best to comfort them, and I would tell them to live their life and live their days to the fullest, because usually regret always comes at the very last moment. You might not even realize that there are many things in this life that you wanted to do, but you weren't able to get that chance because it turns out that there are circumstances and maybe you are too old in age as well to do those kinds of things. So right now, since you still have the opportunity, you still have the chance, make the most of it. You won't regret it in the very last, because you cannot feel regret in the very start. You feel regret in the last part. So before you experience that, you should do the things that you like right now, do the things that you're passionate in, do the things that you enjoy, that you love, and do it in the very start before it's too late. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Trisha. Is there anybody next? Want to give a try? To a person who is able to give advice to your friends, to a stranger, or to somebody next to you.
Kapil.
Kapil. Okay, Kapil.
Casey recommended
you
me. Thank you, Casey.
Thank
I
you.
am a coach. I don't usually advise people. Coaches don't advise.
All right.
But go
So
ahead.
you have 3 to 15.
3 to 15. I'll choose 9.
Number 9. Okay. Uh, what advice would you give to a helicopter parent who is overprotective over their children? Do you know what's helicopter parent?
You'll have to explain a little bit. I understand a little bit, but maybe.
Okay, helicopter parent basically means that the parent who is always hovering over their child, who is taking care, who is always scared that they are actually the kids are overexposed to many things.
Okay, got it. So yeah, the advice I would recommend to parents who are overprotective is like, see, every child comes with wings. Wings means like his passion, his dreams, with whom that child can fly, as like penguins were flying. But when you overprotect your child, you don't allow those wings to have enough muscles to fly. When I mean to say enough muscles, like if even with small things you don't allow a child freedom to develop his thinking power, his decision taking power, what in the long run it would do is the child would not be able to take decisions which are bigger in picture, like let's say deciding career. Like if a person or a parent doesn't allow a child to take a decision about, let's say, his clothing, and he's restricted to wear certain clothing as well only. So when the child grows up, he won't be able to take decision about what course he wants to do, what career he wants to adopt, or what kind of job he wants to pursue, or what kind of a life partner he wants to pursue. So if one is being overprotective, actually one is not only not allowing the muscles to develop, but actually trimming those wings of the child, and the child would not be able to fly. You are killing the belief of that child to fly. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Kapil. Very interesting view. All right, who is next?
Dr. Ram.
Mr. Dr. Ram. Hi, Dr. Ram. All right, you we have 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
8, number 8.
Number 8. All right. So what advice will you give to a hiring manager on how he should choose his candidates?
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. As a manager, I have been in that role for nearly 7 to 8 years. As a manager, they are very much buffering in between the decision makers and the execution community. They're very task oriented, difficult things, and we need to buffering along with the workforces which are making the command and demand, as well as the purposeful execution to finish the task. As of now, the workforces are having the mixed population of baby boomers, non-millennials, millennials, and new gen group. It is very diversified with the sources and resources of human resources versus machine resources. I would recommend the people who are having the trustworthy visibility and the culture, and we need to check for the ethical empathy as well as task completing competency skills. So according to the task completing competency skills, we can evaluate a person who has the core values for that particular job skills, as well as the empathy to embrace with the team and help them to overcome with the problems by providing their support as well as right solution. So nowadays, the task forces are very difficult to find who are able to finish the task on stipulated time. So the managers are having the tendency to look into this kind of criteria to categorize and choose the right person who can able to come and admit with their workforce and be able to proceed further to finish the task according to the organizational standards. Thank you. Back to Constance.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Ram. All right. So, next one is Sakshi, if I'm not wrong. Is it correct?
Yes.
All right, Sakshi. Okay. What is your number? You have 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 to 15. I'm sorry?
Sorry, there was network issues.
You have 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 to 15.
I will choose 15.
15. All right. What will you advise to an overweight gentleman who is eating the second tub of KFC with free flow Coke?
Okay. Wow. Actually, I was trying to, reduce my weight too. I used to eat a lot. What would I advise? you know,
How would advise to the gentleman?
actually, I used to also eat a lot. What would I recommend? I would recommend just to should have some, nutrition master or something You should, you know, made your day as eat less. No, no. I used to eat a lot. I just love eating.
Okay, all right, thank you very much, Sakshi. Okay, who's going to be a next advisor?
Okay,
Oh, Ben. Ben, is it Ben? I see Ben first. Okay, Ben. What advice will you give to an aspiring entrepreneur who just got his 10th idea rejected?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. I would have some coffee or tea with this person, whether he or she, and I will tell a story. Because just like Wilson told a story about pigs who can fly, they don't learn to fly overnight. There's so many stages, isn't it, before we can succeed. So whether it be a money issue or idea issue and ideas that nobody wants to accept, he has to sit back and reconsider in the story. So one day he may have been walking with friends through a forest, and as he walked through the forest, he come across a very strange castle. The castle is surrounded by water, and in order to cross, you either take the boat or you wait for the drawbridge to lower down. If you cannot wait, you have to pay the boatman. The boatman may charge you something you can afford. But if you can wait, the drawbridge will come down. Because inside this castle are all the resources that you need, all the things that you need to be successful. A great library is there, friends is there, and people who are willing to advise you. Your mentor is there. So take your time. Think about how you're going to enter the castle. But once you enter, which is just one obstacle, you will find more abilities, more successes, and more resources within yourself. So if you do not think that you have it, go into the castle. And with that, I'll take a sip of coffee and say, well, what do you think? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. That's an inspiring story. Okay, next one will be Casey. Am I correct?
If no one else, yes, I'll go.
All right. I guess it will be you.
Okay.
All right. So you have a 3, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Number 3. All right. Number 3. What advice would you give to a proud kid who keep getting good grades in class?
Okay. Kid, the ginger is hotter when it's older. There is this term in the Chinese where gingers are hotter when they get older. So don't get too proud when you just started to have good grades. Experiences comes from doing, not by studying. But yet, studying is important. But don't get too proud. Look at your parents. They're working hard for you. They are only very proud with one thing, not about their hard work, but about the result that they can provide for you. So, my advice to you, stay humble like your parents and be successful later. Yes, that's my advice. Back to you, Carlson.
That's a very good advice. All right. Who's going to be a next Aunt Aggie?
Invite Dr. Gary To.
Dr. Gary To. Dr. Gary. Hi, Dr. Gary. You want to give it a try?
You have to, you're arrowed. Dr. Gary.
Yeah, you can smile as much as you want, but you must talk.
Okay, Dr. Gary. So today we are doing the advisor role to a stranger or to a friend. So we have a few choices that you can choose from. You just pick a number, and then I'll give you uh, the 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 problem you have. All right. So right now you have left 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Let's go for 12. Thank you.
Number 12. All right. So what advice would you give to a graduate with an honorary degree?
Sorry, what is an honorary degree?
A degree with honors.
Oh, with honors. Okay.
Yes, correct.
uh, can I
It's a
pass?
treat.
Okay. All right. So, do I just start?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You are now Aunt Aggie.
All right. Perfect. So, if I was speaking to this person, all right. Well, congratulations. It's fantastic to one be able to achieve a degree, and let alone achieve it with honors. So it's brilliant and really well done. From my experience in the last 14 years, sort of building my own business, what I learned in school and what happens out in the real world, sometimes it's a little different. School, everything is, I guess, kind of academic. They teach you what is required, but they may or may not teach you how to survive and how to market and how to grow. So depending on where you decide to go with your career, just remember that you can always learn. Even though you're top of the class, it's great, but there's always room to grow. There's always someone smarter than you. There's always someone more experienced than you. And don't be shy to ask for help, because there are so many people that have done everything that you want to accomplish and possibly more. So always tap on the expertise of the people that are around you, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The last thing I'd share is also to try to include doing good in the world. As much as we can accelerate ourselves to grow, we can also impact the lives of others, not just the people that we work with, not just our colleagues, not just our clients, but also other people outside of that. So just see where your ripples take you, but let your ripples go far so you can start to impact not just your own family and your own life, but the lives of many other people in whichever way possible. I wish you all the best and have a blast doing it.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Gary. This one looks like a graduating speech by for the graduating class. Okay, so I think we have time for one more. So is there any last volunteers?
Michelle.
Michelle. Whoa. All right. Okay, Michelle. Hi, are you there?
Michelle not there. Samantha can.
Samantha. Hi, Samantha.
Hi.
Hi. Today we are doing the Aunt Aggie section. So
Again?
Aunt Aggie. That means we are giving advice to strangers or your friends.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we have a few sections. We have number 6, number 7, number 10, 11, 13, and 14.
The smallest number?
The smallest number will be number 6. Oh, okay. This is a good one. What advice will you give to the President of Singapore on immigration policies?
On immigration policy.
Yes, correct.
What advice I would give to the President for immigration policy? I felt that to have immigrants is good actually. because a lot of Singaporeans, they are very selective in their career. A lot of jobs like in the service line, medical, like nurses, all this, a lot of people, a lot of locals is not willing to take up the job. So immigrants have to be selective. If they are professionals, they can contribute to the society, or if they have they are skilled workers, they are doing trades that we locals didn't want to do, and they have good citizen record. I think we should bring them in so that to fill the gap. Instead of giving advice to the president, I would advise the president to educate the local, because a lot of locals felt that immigrants are taking away our jobs, which is not very true, because a lot of jobs is that the local that didn't want to take up and didn't want to do. That's why they have to depend on immigrants. So I would advise the president to educate citizens so that we have a balance. Of course, having a balance, make sure that we also have to make sure the local protect their rice bowl. Give priority to certain jobs where the local prefer to do it. Yeah, that is my advice to the president. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. This is a very hard nut to crack. It's a hard question to answer. Thank you very much, Samantha.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay, this is the end of our impromptu session. Thank you all the Aunt Aggies and uncles. All right, so hand over to our MC, Shona. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlson. That was indeed a very unique set of questions that you had for all of us. Nothing like what we have had ever before. Getting us to really think out of the box and making us put ourselves in the shoes of the president, the human resources officer, to be a motivator, a supportive person. I think you had all the roles for us. Thank you for that thinking that you put in there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Now over to Chong Lim. Chong Lim, do we have the timers report for this section? Are you there? Yes, so are you going to speak?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Carlson took about 32 minutes. I think he did a good job. We covered many people. I think everyone got to speak. So, yeah. Thank you, Carlson, and thank you everyone for participating. Back to you, Shauna.
Thank you, Chong Lim. All right. So we move on to the next segment, which is the special presentation by Casey Chen. We know that Casey is the Vice President of Education of Agora Speakers Club in Singapore. And did you know that he is graduated from RMIT with a Bachelor of Design and have been doing design, art, and branding for more than 25 years. His works are used in many companies like MSIG, Roche, and Nestle International. He is an author, painter, sculptor, and designer. He has published about 3 books at least. Casey has spoken as a speaker in numerous design and art festivals and local and international design events. He enjoys his work as a brand consultant and travels widely to participate in art exhibitions. I believe Casey has his hands full with Agora, but he's always there with a smile on his face. Now, as for the time, we have 15 minutes is allowed for the speech, for this special presentation. At 13 minutes, the green light will be flashed. At 14 minutes, the yellow, and at 15 minutes, the red light. And after 30 seconds more, the audio device will sound and the speaker has to end the speech. Ladies and gentlemen, let us invite Casey Chen to give us the special presentation. His topic is Power Introduction is Important. Over to you, Casey.
Thank you, Shauna. Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Ban Peng, President, all the newcomers. I'm humbled today. We have a very young young friend from Indonesia, Trisha. Welcome. I can hear that you are a very experienced speaker, and I have a lot to learn from you, really. And
likewise.
welcome. Now, everybody, good evening to you. Today, I like to take the opportunity to thank everybody because Wilson gave me a challenge just like last session, saying that he has not heard me speak for prepared speech for some time. It is because I have to prepare so many things for the meetings. So I welcome you to volunteer yourself to speak so that I have more time to do my right. When you speak, then I can have more time to do my other stuff for Agora. However, having said that, let's go to my presentation. Okay, now let me share screen. Everybody can see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me just go to, okay, so I can't see everybody now. Okay, power introduction is important. Why do I say that? Okay, when you go for a meeting, right, whether you are speaking on a large group or you're meeting a new friend, you are introduced, you have to introduce yourself. Either you make it or you break it, and you only have 60 seconds. Why 60 seconds? You know, you do not leave the way you are introduced in the hands of other people. Okay, better for us to tell the host or your friend how you want to be introduced. And this is why it is important for us to prepare a script for our personal 1-minute introduction to customize for the occasion. Now, earlier you heard our MC has introduced me to you guys before my session. And could I say that with that introduction, it prepares me to face you. For those who have first heard me or seen me, like it's like, oh wow, this guy is a vice president, education in Agora. He must be ready to speak to you, and you are ready to hear this, what this person can provide about on his speech. So, what does the power introduction do? It does set you up as someone knowledgeable on the topic, worthwhile to listen to you. It set up the topic as something relevant and important to the audience. It set up the audience to be more receptive of your message. Now, how can all this thing helps you? Testimony, right? So when I talk about testimony, recently, about 3 weeks ago, I have a call to present to a company, right? The reason why they called me because they have seen my work on in the internet and they read my bio. So I have the same, almost a similar introduction of who I am with my experience and my portfolio. Like when I see them, I only have 1 minute to introduce myself. And why I gave myself this power 1 minute introduction is because either I break it, I do it badly, or I make it short and sharp. I gave them my full bio in terms of what I want them to know. I am ready to solve your problems. With that, I got the project. So this is how it can help you. I have testimony. I have helped so many people to draft their 1 minute introduction. Now, when I say 1 minute introduction, it doesn't mean that you need to be 1 minute. It can be shorter, it can be longer. But when it's short, when it's too short, what will happen? I do not know whether you are capable or I don't understand you. When it's too long, people's like, oh wow, I can't remember anything. So what is more important is you want to leave people an impression of what you can do. So get back to this, right? So we will go to this. So with my introduction, you see that, oh, Casey is from RMIT. At least this guy got a degree. He has been in branding for 25 years. Okay, it's good enough. There's enough experiences. He works with big companies. You do not need to write down the 100 company list for your 1 minute introduction. You can leave it in your website if you want to. Okay, what I'm good at, what I like to do. I like to write. I like to paint. Oh, I'm a sculptor. So I speak in numerous design and art festival, and I travel a lot. So with this, it gives you some standards in life that you are ready for the work. Next, what do you tell the audience in your power introduction? So it tells the audience who you are, your background. So you can see the example I show on my own 1 minute introduction. What makes you knowledgeable? And it tells the audience what you do, the real life experience insight into the topics. When I say into the topics, if you are presenting to your future mother-in-law, you have to say something different. If you are presenting to your new bosses, you don't talk about your mother-in-law, right? So it tells the audience why you are speaking or why you want that job. How is it relevant and important to the audience what you do? I hope this is clear. So what are the 3 challenges of the 1 minute power introduction? So when I say challenges here, okay, it's so easy to write something. So can I say you overwrite? Overwriting means you might be overthinking. The best thing to do is when you do an introduction, get someone to do it with you. If you're going to present to someone about yourself, get someone to practice with you. Practice makes perfect. And practice will make your presentation even more confident and more convincing. So let me share with you the challenges. Challenge number 1, to introduce yourself, to set yourself up as a credible speaker on the chosen topic. Yes, every power introduction should be customized. You will have a generic one, but with every people you meet or every time you speak will be on different topic. Set yourself up in that direction. The next challenge, challenge number 2, to introduce the topic, to sell the problem, to tell us why topic is relevant. Why is the subject important to the audience? Now, the speaker challenge is to provide a solution to a problem. And I'll go to number 3. Challenge number 3, the speaker has to complete complete the introduction within 1 minute. When I say the MC, you have to do it. Someone else have to introduce you. They have 1 minute. Now, do not give them an introduction that, oh, it takes so long that I have to fumble. I do not know where am I. But you don't give them too short. They do not know what to give you a power introduction. The 1 minute power introduction sets the stage to the speaker. You have to let the person that introduced you, give them this introduction so that they can prepare to introduce you. Now, you see all the introduction that was in today's program are given to the MC beforehand. So the MC will look through and get prepared. If she want to add something else, or if she don't understand you, she will call you up and say, hey, this is what Can I add this? Can I do that? Shona did a great job in that, so that she'll make all the speakers ready, make the speakers think. But also why we do that is because do not let people guess what you do. Make sure you tell the person who are introducing you, tell them what you want. For example, if I go to a pub, if I go to a club, I saw a lady, and Albert is with me. I said, Albert, can you tell the lady I am a good guy? I'm a stable guy, you know? Or if I don't, you know, Albert will just bring me there and say, oh, Casey is such a joker. Oops, I lost the opportunity, right? So this, you tell you prepare the person who are introducing you. So this is what power introduction will help you. Right, so let me go next. Now, when the introduction takes too long, remember this, okay? When it takes too long, you lost the audience interest. When the introduction is not done right, the audience may not pay attention. But when the introduction provides the key information about you within 1 minute, the audience will be at the sitting edge of their seats, eagerly waiting to listen to you. So to close in this segment, I want to give you a real life testimony. Many years ago, about 4 years ago, I got an email from Thailand, Bangkok University. They sent me an invitation to speak in their design and art festival as their key speakers. I was shocked. How do you get to know me? Someone introduced you from Singapore? They say, no, I was searching online and I saw your website and I read your introduction. My introduction is so short. And we think that you are good enough, you're good, and we want you to speak in our school. And this is real. So prepare your introduction well. So I shall close with this. I am willing to help you, okay? If you want to do your power introduction, right, in the name of Agora, I will commit my time to help you to practice, and you can write together. Just give me a WhatsApp and I'll send you the note, okay? Yep, thank you everybody. And disclaimer, all these notes are from my mentor, Gay Ban Ping. Thank you, Ban Ping. All right, back to you, Shona.
Well done, Casey. Great job.
Thank you, Casey, and thank you, Mr. Gay. So that was a very interesting talk, and it really told us how important power introduction is. And you also said it's good to work with a friend so that you can work together and make it more effective. Thank you very much, Casey. And now, Chong Lim, may we have the report about the time, on the time? Are you there?
Yes, hi.
Yes.
Hi, Shona. Casey
Yes.
took almost 13 minutes. So he had about 2 more minutes to spare. Maybe he could have used this to invite some questions, you know, Q&A session to use up the whole 15. But yeah, good job, kept within the time. Thank you very much, Shona, and good job, Casey.
Thank you, Chong Lim, for the feedback also. And thank you once again, Casey. Now we are over to the next section, which is the prepared speech segment. And today our first speech is going to be done by Sakshi Kapoor. And we are fortunate to have Albert Smith and Samantha Kwan today, who have volunteered to help provide feedback to Sakshi, to the speech that Sakshi Kapoor is going to give us today. As evaluator number 1, Albert Smith will be looking for the purpose of the speech and to address questions such as what was the speech purpose, what did the speaker want, what did the speaker promise, and what advice would you like to share with the speaker. And for Samantha, who is the evaluator number 2, you will be looking at the alignment between opening and the closing. You will be looking at remarking on the speech with regard to what did the speaker say in his opening, what did the speaker say in his closing, was the closing consistent with the opening, and whether you have any advice to share with the speaker, do share it as well. And Casey is going to help us upload the evaluation notes in the chat. So if any one of us in the audience also would like to take a look at it, please do. So tonight, our first prepared speech, the person who's going to do the speech is Sakshi Kapoor. This is her first time speaking here at Agora, Singapore. I have heard Sakshi speak once before at the Agora Singapore Speakers organized by Madrid. And I remember very clear, yes, Sakshi. And I remember that I was very much taken in by the insightful and impactful talk that you gave on loneliness. It was very insightful, and I really remember thinking how you managed that. And to add to that, she's only 19 years old and is a student from India who likes speaking in front of people, in front of an audience. She paints and enjoys creative activities like art and craft, and she also enjoys dancing. Now, as for the time, it's 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, the green light will be flashed. 6 minutes, the yellow, and at 7 minutes, the red light will be flashed. 30 seconds after 7, the audio device will beep, and it's time to wrap up the speech. So to introduce the topic, today, Sakshi wishes to share her life experience with us, her dreams and passion. She hopes that this will inspire us too at some level. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together to welcome Sakshi to speak on inspirational life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shona. Thank you, everyone. May I start?
Yes.
Have you ever been rejected? Have you ever wants to do anything in your life and you have been rejected by someone, might be your teacher, might be anyone. But today I'm gonna share you one experience when I have been rejected by my teacher. It was a time when I was at 12, at 7th grade. There, I used to participate in all extracurricular activities, and I just love to speak, as I have a fear to speak and I want to overcome. So my teacher came to my classroom and wrote it on the blackboard that about the speech competition related to the topic or the word limit, and ask everybody, those who are interested, just come tomorrow and prepare your speech. So I returned back to my home and prepared my speech, then practice in front of the mirror, learn it by heart, and then the next day I used to perform. So there were as many as 9 to 10 students, and teacher going to select 4 to 5. So unfortunately that time I won't be selected. So I was feeling so much rejected, so much disappointed with myself. I feel very bad. I returned back to my home. The teacher didn't tell me the reason why didn't she selected. She just selected those students. And when I returned back to my home, I cried. My mother saw me crying and she asked me, why you're crying? So I told her about everything, and she said, this is so much a little thing. Why you are worried about it? So she just wanted me to focus on my studies, not to just focus on all these things. So I didn't say anything that time, but I couldn't do anything that time because the competition is going to held every after 1 year once. So I waited for the next year. Then in the next year, I again tried, and the another teacher, gets appointed to select the students, and the teacher have already selected the students. So the next day also, I just failed. I won't be able to participate. In the next year, I again tried. I again failed. Then the next year, I again tried. Then I again fail. I won't be able to participate. Now this time I don't know. I'm asking why it is happening to me. I just want to participate. I just want to prove myself that I can do it. But teacher is not getting it. So the last year, now final year came when I was at 10th grade, and I just approached my teacher and humbly asked to her, why you're not selecting me? I was just trying to participate in the last 4 years and want to prove myself that I can do it. So teacher said it's okay, fine. This year you will going to go, you will going to participate. So just prepare and okay. So I returned back home. I was very, very happy that time. As I'm on the seventh heaven, I just love it. Just yes, finally I got the opportunity to speak. So I returned back to my home. I prepared a speech, practice a lot, practice in front of my friends, in front of my class. Then the final day came, on which day I had to perform. So there were many students. There were actually there was a district level competition. There were so good students. They are speaking so good. I was I was very nervous. I don't have any experience. I don't know. I was thinking that yes, this time I got the opportunity. In case I will not won the competition, in case I will not, I will fail. Then it proves that yes, I can do. That's why the teacher didn't selected me. So there were a lot of things going on through my brain. So but I hold it my heart. I just go to the stage and performed well. And after delivering a speech, there were applauses, claps, and everyone is cheering up. So I feel that was a very beautiful moment that I've experienced in my life. Finally I got the opportunity to speak, to prove myself, and I proved it. And I also won the competition. So I was very much happy. Then what I've learned from experience is, yes, if you fail, if you miss the opportunity, then it's okay. It shows that you are trying. If you are failed, then it's okay, because that helps you to learn about the importance of winning. Uh, Opportunities is like the ball the bowler is throwing to you. And the life is just like the ground, and you have to be on your pitch. So what if you miss one opportunity, one ball? So be focused on another ball. What if you miss the another one also? So focus on the another one. So be focused on your on yourself. Believe on yourself. One day you're going to score six. It's a sixer. Then don't make excuses that nobody's giving you the opportunity. Your time will come. Don't let rush anybody with their timeline. So focus on yourself, believe yourself, and just be ready and be on your pitch. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sakshi. That was again yet another very inspiring speech and an inspiring experience that you shared with us, showing your persistence and also the analogy that you gave us about keeping your focus and the ball and believing in yourself. So much wisdom there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sona.
And now, Chong Lim, maybe have the time, maybe know how much time was taken?
Yes, she took 6 minutes and 18 seconds. Very good. Kept within the time. Thank you, Shona.
Thank you, Chong Lim. Yes. And now it's time for the volunteers to give feedback to the speech that Sakshi gave us now. The time allowed for each volunteer is 3 minutes. At 1 minute, there will be a green light, and at 2 minutes, yellow light, and at 3 minutes, red. As for the others, just as the others, that's another 30 seconds more within which you can finish the feedback. Let us invite Albert Smith to give the first evaluation. Over to you, Albert.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need about 10 minutes, but I'll try to keep it to 3 minutes. I understand we have other speakers and other things to do here in Agora. I'm also amazed at Sachi. I'm thinking about her age, and I don't know what I was thinking at her age, but I don't know if it was to inspire the world through giving us a speech. But I will tell you that I am very inspired by this young lady here. A lot of wisdom and a lot of courage, a lot of energy, and it's just a pleasure to listen to this speech. Right from the beginning, she grabbed our attention, and her purpose was to inspire us. And right from the beginning, I'm eagerly waiting to hear what she's going to present to us with her speech. And it did not disappoint, Sachi. You did an excellent job. I felt the energy or the emotion that you would have from a teacher that would not give you an opportunity. And I've also resonated with the fact that there were, you had to wait, each year you had to wait for the next opportunity. I've experienced taking exams that were only given one time per year. And I only can imagine how you felt through the course of failing or not being able to compete, and then having to wait another year. And for that to happen 4 times. 4 times. It was very, very interesting to see that you never gave up, and all this was packed in your speech. And then you gave us the beautiful conclusion of saying how you won the presentation when you had your opportunity, because you never gave up, and you gave us all a charge to never give up. Don't make excuses. You are such an accomplished speaker already, just from what I can hear, and we all can agree. I've seen through the chats, you had thumbs up. So there are some things I want to say to you. Number one, you have a great speaking voice. I love, I listen to you, and I love the way you speak. You have great passion and great energy. When you speak, I'm just captivated by just the way you give your presentation. The one thing, if I could make some suggestions, because you are a very polished speaker, in some parts you will have to slow down because you're so energetic and you're so excited and the words are coming out. But some of the words you can say, if you slow down in some parts, it will give more emphasis and give us more time to take in all the power that you're giving us. But you're on your way to a great speaking career in whatever capacity, and I see I'm already getting a red thing here. So I'm going to stop there, but congratulations, you did an excellent job. Back to you, Shauna.
Thank you, Albert. We always value your feedback. Now,
thank you.
May I speak anything?
Yes, and Chong Lim, can we have a look at the time again? Yes, it's okay, just a little over. And we have Samantha next to give us the second evaluation on the alignment between opening and conclusion. Over to you, Samantha.
Hi, Agora. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations. Shashu, yeah? Shashu. Yeah, I love your story. The best way to improve in public speaking is to go for a competition, and you have done it. Congratulations. For a speech to arouse your audience, opening of speech and ending of the speech, the conclusion, are very important. How do we attract the audience? Your opening of speech, you should start with a quote, tell a story, ask a question, or do a And you have did it because you asked a question. However, your question, when you ask very fast and go on like a train. Probably it would be good if you pause a bit after asking a question. But because of asking a question, it's not that you don't really draw attention from audience much. Probably you can tell the audience, I was very sick 2 years ago. I was in fear of public speaking. I have butterfly in my stomach. When you tell the audience that you were very sick, audience will thought, what happened to you? Then you start to tell your story. Your story was good, but it will be better if you have more vocal variety. When you fail, when you have fear, act it out. Show the audience, I was in fear. I couldn't speak. I fumble and stumble. My throat was dry. My leg was shaking. Show the audience how you are in fear. Then your ending, you end with a call for action. You encourage people to don't miss the opportunity, focus on improving yourself. That was good. But if you can end with a quote, will be even better. Probably you can tell the audience, just like what Thomas Edison said, I didn't fail. I have tried 10,000 times. So just like your speech, you didn't fail. Only that you keep on trying and practice. That was your practice. And you have succeeded after many tries. That will be more encouraging. Furthermore, in order to be more successful in your storytelling, you need up and down, roller coaster. So when you fail, you tell the audience, you fail, you did very well, you prepared very well, but you still fail. Then there was one stage that you were in fear, you forgot your speech, but eventually you succeeded. That was the up and down to be very successful in your story. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you very much, Samantha, for that very valuable inputs. We appreciate it very much. So now it's time for our coffee break. Are we a little early? What time shall we get back at Casey?
10 minutes.
Okay. So in about 10 minutes, so that will be, let's say, 8:10.
Yeah. By 8:10, we'll be all gathered together. Thank you,
All
Sean.
right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Lim, thank you for that little bear there that's saying break time. Yes, it helped me keep track of time. Now, let's go to the next section, which is the second speaking session. So our speaker is Sylvia Wong. And once again, we are lucky to have Dr. Kyril Tang and Betty Teo here, who have volunteered their time to share with us their observation relating to the speech that Sylvia is about to give us. Sylvia Wong is not anybody new to us. She has been attending most of our Agora meetings. And I remember her being at the Speakers Are Leaders meeting, masterclass led by Harry Sardinas. Probably that was the first time that I saw her. Sylvia was the senior branch manager of Bank Central Asia Medan, one of the largest private banks in Indonesia. She is the founder of Sendana Management and Leadership Center and the division director of District 87 Toastmasters International. This was during the period 2018 to 2019. She is also the author of a motivational book called I Want and I Can. Now, she serves as the trainer and coach of Medan Alumni Hagai Institute of Indonesia. So the time allowed for this segment speech is 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, the green light will be flashed. At 6 minutes, the yellow, and at 7 minutes, the red light. And you will have another 30 seconds to end the speech. Today, let's listen to Sylvia as she shares with us on how it's all about your mindset. How our mindset can help us to worry less and get more out of life. The topic is that she's chosen to speak on today is worry less, enjoy more. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sylvia. Wow.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
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 Raise your hands if you do not wish to live a stressful life. Thank you. Raise your hands if you do not wish to worry so much. Thank you. Raise your hands if no matter what I ask, you will not raise your hands. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays a lot of people live their life full of worries, including me. I live a most stressful life. I had many sleepless nights, worried sick about my study at school, getting excellent grades in exams, getting entrance into high school, into universities. I had many sleepless nights, worried sick about getting a job, choosing the right company, getting a promotion, getting a salary increment. I had many sleepless nights, worried sick about getting a luxury car, bigger house, more beautiful dresses, traveling around the world. I had many sleepless nights, worried sick about post-retirement. What about losing my position, my identity, my corporate lifestyle? I had sleepless nights, worried sick for years and years since I was a child. I continue to worry up to the day I retire as a senior bank manager. But today, I no longer worry. I sleep very well. I'm happy. I'm contented. I can enjoy my new lifestyle, living simple, joyfully. Raise your hands if you want to know what has changed. I will talk to you about the 3 A's in me that changed. First A, awareness. Second, attachment. Third A, abundance. What is awareness? I became aware nothing is eternal. I became aware our achievement will not give us contented. I became aware our wealth will not make us contented. I became aware our looks and popularity is not forever. What we need is to be aware in order to worry less and live more. For example, what I worry didn't happen as I imagined. I used to live a life based on how people talk about me. I was so worried if I could not become #1 or champion in whatever I did. Once I aware and changed my mindset, my life totally changed. I felt so grateful with what I had achieved and experienced. I thank God for blessing me the ability to end my journey working at the bank, completed the mission with victory. I fully aware and dare to face the reality that change is unavoidable. There are times for us to hold on and also a time to let go. As the saying, hold on tightly and let go lightly. Attachment. My attachment to an outcome makes me nervous. My attachment to all my belongings creates fears of losing. My attachment to branded things makes me stress. Actually, attachment also creates pressure. What if I lost? What if I fail? What if I'm rejected? A lot of what if. Having an attitude of being attached takes a lot of energy. My fellow Agora, when I aware about this statement, that we were born into this world empty-handed and leave this world also empty-handed, then I learned to change my mindset from attached to non-attached. On the other hand, work like magic. It allows us to have fun in our effort to enjoy the process. I also changed my belief. Instead of thinking, what if I lost? Become what if I win? What if I fail into what if I succeed? I want to share my successful story about conquering my feeling of attachment. I was too attached with my grooming. I never go up without fully makeup. Wearing all the jewelry, all the accessories, matched with my handbag, my shoe, I felt not confident if I did not fully dress up. Now, due to this pandemic COVID-19, being locked down for several months, my habit changed. I dared to walk out freely without wearing all those accessories. I felt even more secure and confident being casual. Abundance. My belief abundance is joy. My belief abundance is peace. My belief abundance is freedom. My belief about abundance is being healthy. When I aware abundance is not only being rich, being famous, or being successful in everything we do. Once my mindset changed, my whole life changed. The act of not worrying helped me to focus and stay on purpose. I told myself that even things did not work out the way I expected, it's okay. I have learned a good lesson and will do better next time. This attitude of acceptance helps us to move on to the next step. For part rather than feeling being defeated, we can simply move on with confidence and joy. Now I feel so grateful to enjoy all the resources that surround me. I really can enjoy my life. Well, I have shared the 3 things that transform me from living a stressful life to living a life of calmness, serenity, and contentment. Raise your hand if you remember the 3 A's. Awareness, attachment, and abundance. I will close my speech with an illustration. Why worry? Do you have a problem in life? If no, then why worry? If yes, then ask yourself, is there anything you can do about it? If no, then why worry? If yes, then why worry? Worrying won't stop the bad stuff from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good. So my friends, have a blissful life. Worry less, enjoy more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. That was a very insightful speech. Really enjoyed it. And you was telling us about the impermanence of things and of the importance of gratefulness among so many wise words. Thank you. Now, to look at the time that was taken, Chonglin, that was just a little above 7, so that's all right. Now over to our volunteers, to our evaluators. And again, the time allowed for the feedback is 3 minutes. At 1 minute, the green light will go, and at 2 minutes, the yellow, and at 3 minutes, at red. But we have another 30 seconds to go on. Let us invite Dr. Kyril Tang to give the first evaluation on the purpose of the speech. Thank you very much, Dr. Kyril. Over to you.
Hi, Agora. Good evening. I apologize because something is wrong with my camera, so I've got to put a stationary picture of myself. Okay, so my evaluation on the speech, I think, you know, Sylvia, you are a very powerful speaker. And I think from the beginning to the end, you actually captivate us. We hear you very strongly about the fact that, you know, life may not be always enjoyable, but you found ways to enjoy life eventually. I think there is really not a lot that I can offer you in terms of what you can do to improve, but I feel that in terms of the purpose of the speech, you have actually made the points very clear about the importance of being aware and not to be too attached to materialistic things, and to have the feeling of abundance where you have more than enough, and so that you can share the freedom, the health, and everything. If I can just offer probably one or two points is, first of all, because towards the end of your speech, you were talking about calmness. So perhaps that's something that you can actually work on a little. I felt that you were moving a bit too much. You were looking up and then looking down to read your script, and then looking up to the audience and looking down again. Maybe you can try to minimize that a little, because the focus of your picture of your face wasn't quite there. And also, I think similar to the previous speaker, where you may like to actually introduce some pause to show your calmness. We were actually very excited following you throughout. I think some pause would actually get us more attention, to what you're speaking. And finally, I think you have cited a lot of examples as you talk through the topic awareness, attachment, and abundance. Maybe you can actually link all these different points up to make a complete story as you share, so that it is more structured. That's my 5 cents opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kyril, for the observations. We value them greatly. And I guess I saw the time that it was just about 3 minutes. So now to Betty for the second evaluation on the alignment between the opening and the closing.
A very good evening to Sylvia and all. Sylvia, you give a very inspiring speech. I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially with your life stories. You give a very good introduction where you ask many questions, raising your hands if you do not wish to worry, you do not wish to do something. So, and that raise your hands questions, you also repeated, in the closing speech. So I like that very much, because it really gives the audience not a very down, not any dull moment at all. So you're always on the go, during the speech. The title itself is a very catchy title. It's a very interesting topic that it is quite close to most of our hearts, where we, usually worry in life and enjoy less. Yeah. That questioning techniques is very effective in the opening speech. Okay. In the beginning, in your opening speech, you actually start off with a very good speech, with very good voice control, with lots of vocal variety. Yeah. And you also speak very confidently. That was very good. However, towards the end or the closing of the speech, your speed is catching up, and I think you go a bit too fast. So if you were to slow down and keep your same pace as in the opening speech, I think that will be good. Because while you are speaking, I'm also catching up with you. Yeah. Your closing, you talked a lot about freedom of choice, staying healthy, not only wealthy, how you change your habits. So it's definitely consistent with the opening, where you are talking about how you live lots of sleepless nights, getting worried sick, getting entrance to university, so many worries that you are having it. Yeah. And I especially like the closing where you said, why worry? Do you have a problem in life? Worry doesn't stop you at all from worrying. So why not you enjoy life? So overall, it's a very good speech. It really catch people's attention, and to learn from your stressful life, to transform into a carefree life. And I especially like your 3 A's where you say awareness, attachment, abundance. Those are very valuable lessons that we can learn. Okay. So overall, it's an excellent speech. And I will definitely create a worry less life and enjoy life more. Thank you again for the speech.
Thank you very much.
Shauna, you must unmute yourself, Shauna.
Shauna, you are muted.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, now can.
When we hear you, we cannot see you.
Shauna.
No, she's using 2 devices, one for the video, one for the audio.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
We love your voice, Albert.
There is
Sorry
nothing
for that.
with your computer. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Yes, I think that was a break for all of you from my side. Just a moment again. Okay. I can hear an echo. Are you all right?
You have to off one of your systems.
Yes.
Off the audio for one of the systems.
Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. All right. Thank you so much. I have just left from. So thank you so much, Betty, for that, for your valuable inputs and your observations that you shared about the speech. We value them greatly. And the speech, I guess I see that it's on time. And now it's the next segment, which is the speech number 3. And it's going to be delivered by Kapil Chawla. Once again, we have a volunteer, Sean Tan, and we would like one more person to volunteer for us if Prathati is not able to join. Would anybody like to volunteer as an evaluator for Kapil's speech? Anyway, at the end of it also, you can take your time. So as volunteer number 1, you will be evaluating on the speech purpose, what the speaker wanted, whether they delivered on what they promised. So, and any advice that you would like to share. And we have Sean here first as volunteer 2. So our next speaker is Kapil Chawla, and he's not a new face at Agora. He's very familiar. In fact, at our last meeting, it is Kapil who held the fort and conducted the ice-breaking session. So thank you very much for that. And he's a very active member of Agora Speakers International. He was at the Speakers Forum at Madrid and helped with the impromptu section. And recently, just a moment, sorry.
This is what happened when you have a meeting at home. It's all right, Shauna, don't worry. Our announcement.
Okay, while waiting, Casey will sing us a song.
No, I was going to say, can our announcement master, Albert Smith, make the announcement of technical problem?
We are experiencing technical
turbulences.
Please be patient. We will return to you shortly. What am I saying, Casey?
You are
All
good.
right.
You are good.
So then,
Or we get Trisha to sing us a song, Trisha.
I'm back, Mr. Gay.
Oh,
But
okay,
we
you're
can
back.
listen to Trisha's song.
No in-flight entertainment, sorry.
All right. So Kapil has been an active member of Agora Speakers International. He was at the Agora Speakers International at Madrid and helping with the impromptu section. And recently, thanks to the link that Kapil provided us in our Agora group, I myself was able to attend one of the Agora Speakers meet at South Africa organized by them. He's a level 2 EFT therapist and Reiki Grandmaster. Not only does he hold a diploma in neuro-linguistic program, but he's also trained as a coach to help influence and change people's lives. So as for the time allowed is 7 minutes, and at 5 minutes, the green light will be flashed, at 6 minutes, the yellow, and at 7 minutes, the red light. And we have a further 30 seconds for you to continue speaking. Now, today, Kapil wishes to share with us a new thought, a groundbreaking idea about a different system of education. All of us, we look forward to hearing more about this idea, Kapil. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Kapil to speak to us on the topic, My Dream School.
Thank you, Shauna, for this wonderful introduction. Actually, I am an international Agorian with no designation. I'm not an ambassador or anything else, but I am Agorian. And thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Casey Chen, for allowing me to speak at this forum. Now, let me start with my dream school. Around 3.5 years when I was just too small, I was pushed into a school, a kindergarten school. I had no idea. But as growing up, I started questioning. I asked my parents, why do you send me to school? They said, for learning. And I was surprised during this all 12 years of school education, 3 years of graduation, there was no class which taught us or any teacher which turned up and said, okay, today I'm going to teach you how to learn. A question to all of you. Why do you send your children to school? To learn? Yes or no?
To learn.
Yes.
Yes. And why have you gone to school? To learn, obviously. Yes?
Yes, learn.
To learn. My dilemma was that no teacher came and taught us how to learn. So at this age, when I know I can dream and no one can stop me from dreaming, I know like at this age, people think like dreaming is not good idea. It's only the children who dream. So I thought of a dream school. It's a simple process which I have tried to make into a school. It's a new invention, kind of innovative thought from me. It follows a simple formula called AOEE. A stands for admission, O for observation, E for education, and E for examination. It's almost the same as the previous school, but very different in the concept. A, admission. The admission to my dream school starts on the very day when the child is born. He goes to the school at around 3 or 3 plus. However, the parents are advised during this process of growing up from 0 to 3 that they keep an keen observation of the child. that what the child does. Does he like what he does? He likes to do in his spare time. What do he likes? What does he like to play? And this observation will help us to assess if the admission is given to that particular child or not. Unless parents are able to observe their child properly, they should not send the children to school. They are the first teachers. They should understand what their child is or what does he like to do. That will give an hint what career choice or what course he would like to study. So that's the observation part, which happens from 0 to 3 years. That's the admission process, which involves 3 years process. Now I come to the second part of it. Observation. At about 3 or to 3.5 years, a child is sent to a kindergarten. Now in this kindergarten, nothing is taught to that child. The child is only under observation. There are only 20 children in that class, and the teachers are assigned are not just primary teachers, they are keen observers. These observers, teachers, will actually have a look at the child whenever he is there in the school and try to find out what kind of activities that child is interested in performing. There will be set of objects, like someone would like to fiddle with books, some child would like to fiddle with engineering instruments, or some child would like to fiddle with doctors instruments, some child would like to fiddle with plumbers. So the concept is that the observation teacher actually observes the interest of the child in that particular education. Next, in the education process, the teacher is actually teaches the children about what they have shown interest in. They are taught all other steps, but they are actually made to do or study that particular subject which they have shown interest in. And the last part is the examination part, the E part. This is not like a regular theory class, written examination. Written examination will be there, but most of the examination will be practical examination. Meaning, a child will be given a problem to solve. Unless that problem is solved in a practical nature, he will not be given a pass in the examination. And there is no failure. If a person or a child is not able to perform well, or he is not able to complete the task, he is actually said, go back, take your time, and come back when you are perfect in the exam, in that particular problem solving approach. So there is no failure in the school. There is only a learner who actually solves the problem. So this, it will be the end of that. Unless the person or the student has completely solved that problem, he'll not promoted to the next stage. So this was my concept, a very simple concept. I know it's difficult to implement it, but that's my process of my dream school. Thank you.
Excuse yourself and come. Just
Hi.
excuse yourself for 5 minutes.
Hello, Kapil. Thank you very much for that. So,
can I excuse myself for 5 minutes?
Okay,
sorry,
sure.
just give me a minute. I'll come back to you.
Shona, don't worry. I'll help you to take over from here. I'll take over. Don't worry. Hi, everybody. Okay, now.
Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome. Okay. So,
Yeah, got in just in time. Should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hi, Kapil.
Hi.
Nice to hear you speak again. Short and sharp speech, very to the point. your promise to us in this speech is that you will introduce to us a new way of teaching, a new education, right? If I hear you correctly, it's a new invention. I think you came up with the idea, and you went on to explain to us the 4 stages of this new education, which is the admission, observation, education, and the examination stage. And you did describe each of these stages in quite clear detail. I like your tone. You were steady. The structure of the speech is also very logical, very smooth. You articulated it clearly. I knew what you are trying to do with this new system. Okay. So it went well. And towards the end, you just stopped after completing explaining the examination part, which I felt was a little bit abrupt. The conclusion was very short, if there was one. Though you explained the phases of this new education system, what I felt could be better if you were to compare it with current education system, as in, why is it so special? Why is it so new? Which are the areas that are different? Though you did explain this one, but maybe the listener, not everybody will know what is the current system. So if you could highlight the contrast, then really the message of the new innovative way of teaching will come out stronger. For example, at the admission stage, you talk about the interest of the child, observing the interest of a child. So does that mean currently our current system does not allow that? Second one is also about the observation part, which I think is quite interesting, quite new, and teaching of the subjects that the child, each individual child is interested in. And so I thought that should be the new way, because in the current system, every child is learning the same subjects. I'm making an assumption there. So if you could highlight some of these key points, then the contrast will be much stronger. So then the test will be now, if we ask the listeners whether they believe that this system is different, and secondly, whether they believe this system is better than the current system. So if you can get that message across, then you have succeeded in delivering the message that you promised us. Overall, the delivery, I have no big issue with it. You are already quite a smooth speaker, articulated well. So congratulations, and so well done. Hope to hear from you again soon. Thank you.
Hi. So do we have a second evaluator?
Yes.
Mike.
Mike. Oh, yes, Mike.
Mike will do it. Hold on, where's Mike? Here you are. We can't hear you, Mike. We cannot hear you.
Okay, is that better?
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear now? Okay. My dream school, I thought great title. It was captivating. I think we need to look at education much more than we are currently doing. So it attracted me. The purpose of the speech was really to highlight the fact that put it into a system year by year by year by year. So things are not really taught well. And the whole purpose of going to school obviously is to learn, as we said. So what did the speaker want? It was basically to introduce variable schooling, so people didn't automatically go on the conveyor belt. They went through and were observed and educated and then examined. So the AOEE process was important. And what did the speaker promise was basically, a simplified system. The admissions, observation, education, examination Advice for the speaker. I thought there was too much hand movement. To me, it was a little bit disturbing. It was a bit like a conductor in an orchestra. So I think, you know, just tone your hand movement down a little bit. But the flow was good. Opening body conclusion, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a break between the opening and the body and the conclusion. But it was fine. And it was quite a complicated subject in any respect. So I think putting it onto paper, having a chart might have been very useful for this. But it was good speech, yeah, and it was logical. So great job.
Thank you very much,
Am I gone
Kapil.
or are you gone?
Oh, sorry. Have you finished?
No, actually his bandwidth went down.
Finished. It was more or less the same as previous.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Kapil. And thank you, Sean. That was, sorry about the interruption. You just took over and Sean just went on with the next bit. And yes, it was really nice to see the way it was just carried out. And as for the speech, I really liked the stream school. And it's a great way to learn, I guess, but maybe the children, are they too young at that stage? But anyway, it's a great idea and lovely to have all the evaluations as well. Thank you very much. Then we have the much awaited section, which is the test masters section, which is going to be conducted by none other than Betty Teo. And this is her first. Betty has been a speaker here at Agora. She has this time evaluated and now has volunteered to be the quiz master as well. Thank you, Betty. And Betty says she's a retiree, but I don't think I agree with that because I recently saw her at another SAC, an outing there, and she seemed very active, and she still volunteers at a non-profit organization focused on empowering women to age well by staying healthy, by being financially secure, and by staying socially engaged. Her last job was as Senior Vice President in Citibank, and she has more than 20 years of regional experience in operations, leadership, project management, and training. So this is her first time here as the quiz master. And as for the test, we all know Mr. Gay often tells us that speeches are a waste of time if we cannot remember what the speakers presented, and if we cannot understand the presentation, and if we do not believe the speakers. And so also for the speakers, evaluation is equally important, and it is useful when the speakers are able to understand it and they are able to remember the feedback. So the purpose of the test is to just discover whether we learned something tonight. And let's hope it will be declared as time well spent, and it will only be so if and only if we pass the test. So as for the timekeeper time, it's 15 minutes today. At 13 minutes, it will go, the green light will be flashed. At 14 minutes, the yellow, and at 15 minutes, the red light. And Betty, you still have another 30 seconds to go on. Let's invite Betty to conduct the test for this evening. Over to you, Betty.
Thank you, Shauna. A very good evening to all again. As a test master, I would assess your listening skills. I will check if you are actively listening and if you understand what the speaker says, including verbal and non-verbal messages, such as eye contact, nodding the head, the thoughts and the feelings. So are we all ready to start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something good. Yeah. Okay. So okay, let's talk about the opening address. It's a very interesting opening address by Wilson Lowe. What is that you think about on the opening address? The flying? penguin story. He mentioned two things. What are the two things about the penguins?
Learning to fly from the flying pigs.
Okay, one more.
But after learning, they forgot to fly. They walk home.
Okay, very good. Anybody can answer. Okay, yeah, yes, yeah. Actually, I was looking for. He mentions
Believe
two
in
things
yourself.
which I will never forget. Flap the wings harder. Okay, in order to flap your wings harder, believe in yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
That is a very interesting flying penguin. They got flying pigs also. So what is the at the end of his opening speech? He says he has a quote. What is that quote? Which is a very powerful.
Success stands.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You're right. You're right. Sylvia, right? I heard. Is it Sylvia?
Success stands
yes
for knowing.
Yes, go on.
Happen into action.
Okay. Success stands from knowing and happens from doing.
Yes. Yeah. Success is knowing, but and happens in doing. Very good, Sylvia and Casey. Yes. Yeah. So what does that mean to Agora members? When they come for meeting, what does that mean?
Go through the Agora website, learn about the education path, and then give the speech.
Practice, practice, practice.
That is not quite correct. Your own speech, Kapil. That's not quite correct. Anybody want to try? Success is knowing, but happens in doing.
Yeah, so you.
How you translate that to Agora meeting?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Go to the
Yes,
Agora
partly
website.
correct. Not quite correct. 30% correct.
Be a practitioner.
Yes, very
Be a
good.
practitioner. Yeah, right.
Yes. Casey, you got it right. Be a practitioner. Yeah?
That's what I said.
You said to the website, right? You said go to Agora
No,
website.
you are not covering the knowing part. There is an education path. One has to know first, then practice.
Okay.
Kapil, you're going to be sent to a detention class. Argue with the master.
Okay, next we go to the impromptu speeches. Tonight's the format is quite interesting. Format. Okay, he makes you an advisor. Okay, in many what I call that different situations. Very interesting. Okay, let's go to what did Albert say. You know, what is the advice to a person who just lost his job? Albert, besides Albert, okay, anybody can answer this question. What Albert advised to his friend who just lost his job? He has a friend, he says, that worked for 25 years. Then what did he advise his friend? Casey again?
Yes, I remember one. I remember one thing. Go to him for anything, but money.
Not the money.
Yes, yes, that is the answer I'm looking for. Actually, he pointed out something very interesting. He says, look at all your skills, put them together into a powerful resume. Okay, yes, and he say, I'm here to support you, accept money. Okay, we go to Kapil. Okay, helicopter parenting. Can anybody sum up what did he say?
He didn't know what is helicopter.
But he did. He catch up very fast.
He say that if you don't let them learn, that you will cripple them from being able to fly.
Yes, yes, very good, excellent, Albert. That's very excellent. Yeah. Okay, now we go to Casey as an advisor. Okay, interesting advice to a proud kid who keeps getting scores, good scores. Casey, you can answer this.
Albert.
Albert, okay, yes,
Albert.
please go on. I thought you're waving at Casey. Sorry, please go ahead.
He's waving because he want to answer the question.
Yes, please answer.
No, that's not me. I was just saying hi to everybody.
Anybody can recall what Casey said about the proud kid who keeps keeps
Yeah.
getting good scores?
He said that you have to be humble.
Yes.
That if you,
Yes.
you know, if you're successful, he used a good quote. It talked about the ginger. That
Yes.
older
Yeah.
it is,
Yes.
here it is.
Yes. If you remember the ginger,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Super,
very good.
super. Excellent.
Albert, very good. Yes. Okay.
Well, that's
Say
because
ginger is
Casey said
hot
it. That's what
when
don't
they get
forget.
older. Okay, next we come to Dr. Gary. Okay, advice to a graduate with honorary degree. What did he say?
Angelina,
Okay, Angelina, yes.
have you been paying attention? You failed the test.
Somebody can help her? That's all right. That's perfectly all right. Yes. Anyone can help her?
He said
Saksi.
congratulations. He
What
said
did Dr. Gary said?
He said congratulations, and he said
He did say that. He did say that. Yes.
continue to work hard. He said, you know, congratulations, continue to work hard, and what you learn in school may not be what you're going to experience in real life.
Yes.
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 Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You are
But he
good.
said something that which I remember, always remember. He said there's always someone smarter than you. So always tap on the expertise of others, okay, to avoid reinventing the wheel. So that every time when we want to, we want to avoid reinventing the wheel so that we can move on easily and smartly. Okay. Next, we come to prepare a special presentation by Casey. That was a very powerful introduction. When he started, he has got a very black, a first slide, which is black. Can anybody remember what is the slide about?
Make it
Saksi.
Sorry?
Saksi will answer.
I will answer.
Of course.
Anybody want to try?
Could you please repeat what you have said?
The first slide. I'm looking for the first slide of Casey's first slide when he introduced the power introduction.
wants to answer.
1 minute power presentation.
Yes.
Yeah. 1 minute
Yes,
power.
it's related to 1 minute power presentation. By the way, and what is that slide there? You only get.
It was about Casey.
1 minute.
Yes. You actually have to be specific. You only get 60 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Either you make it or you break it. Well done. Okay. Yeah.
I have an answer.
And he also mentioned about 3 challenges of the 1 minute introduction. What are the 3 challenges?
Indri answer.
Indri.
You can do it, Indri.
I missed half of Casey's presentation.
Oh, okay. Anybody would like to help her? It's supposed to be a power introduction. What happened?
If it is too short, then the person would not know anything about you. That's one.
Okay, let me help you with the first one. First, introduce yourself.
And then your skill sets. The second one, right?
Yes.
And
Introduce
then
yourself. Second, introduce your topic.
The problem. Fix the problem. Make a solution to the problem.
Okay. You guys are not doing very well in this. 3 challenges. Okay, because of time factor, I give you the answer. Or Casey, why don't you tell them?
No, you better tell them I forgot my speech.
Casey forgot.
He was not paying attention to his speech.
I thought you red-handed.
It should be within 1 minute.
Introduce yourself. Introduce topic. Introduce within 1 minute. Okay, I got 3 more minutes.
No,
Samantha Kwan as an evaluator, second evaluator. Okay. Can anybody share just one positive thing that, or one advice which Samantha Kwan gave it to Sakshi? Anybody?
Is it pause?
Sorry?
Pause, giving pause.
No.
Samantha is nodding.
Albert gives the advice regarding the pause.
Quote, is it?
Yeah, but
Yes,
Samantha,
she did mention that you need
but
roller
Samantha,
coaster.
Samantha
Yeah,
also,
roller coaster, the ups and downs in the speech.
Yes,
You
yes,
have
yeah.
a high
Yes.
pitch and the lower pitch.
Yes. So sometimes the way to remember it is that you have to tag some what they call the keywords, like what did Samantha say? Roller coaster. Yeah. So this is how I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next we come to Sylvia Wong. Okay. Albert, you want to say?
no,
She's an author of a book. Okay, I got 2 more minutes. Okay, she is an author of the book. What's the name of the book?
I won then.
What is the name of the book, of her book?
I born and I learn.
How the title called I won and I win, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
Correct?
Silva, you like to tell them?
Yes, I want and I can.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
I want and I can.
Okay. Who would like to answer? She mentioned about 3 A's to transform her life. What are the 3 A's?
Awareness, attachment, and abundance.
Yes, very good. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, 1 more minute. What is the title of Kapil's speech?
Dream of school. My dream
It's in school.
for school, new school.
That's excellent. Can you give a quick summary of what he's talking about?
To
Admission, education.
Observation, education, and E for
Let me help you out. It's
examination.
AOEE.
Yeah. Admission, observation, education, and examination.
Very good. Very good. Yes. So what did his evaluator say to him?
Compare.
Compare. You should compare the your dream with the existing one.
Yes.
the education. Mr. Ben Peng is paying attention.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes, he is, and he got it right. Okay, so I have about 18 seconds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the testing session. You all are doing very well, but we may want to get some tips from Bumping of how to remember it, by using code words. So all of you are effective listeners. May I request you to unmute your mic and repeat after me? Please unmute your mic.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, repeat after me. I am attentive.
I am attentive.
Alert.
I am alert.
Am an effective listener.
I am effective listener.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You don't have to say that. Over to you, Shona.
Yes. Thank you very much, Betty. That was a most interesting session that we had. And teacher who really wanted her students to be attentive next time. You gave us the recipe to do that, and I think Mr. K is the best student.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So now we have, okay, the timer's report. but I guess we are within time. Yes. And now it's time for the closing address, and it's Mashuk Ahmed who's going to deliver the closing address. He probably came to Agora about June or July, and he's already been the etiquette and protocol master and also been the MC at Agora. Mashuk Ahmed was born in Bangladesh, and he studied till his higher secondary there. He came to Singapore in the mid-90s and graduated with a degree from Singapore and then moved on to Malaysia to do his MBA. He lived in Hong Kong for about 4 years, where he gained much experience practicing business. He then went back home and he's now married and has with 2 children. Thanks to COVID-19, Ashok has realized that it's really enjoyable working from home. And now, this is the first time that Mashuk is giving us a closing address here at Agora. Over to you, Mashuk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shona, for the nice introduction. Somehow it's a coincidence that whenever I have something with the Agora, I have to speak, my voice goes down. My apologies again. It's a coincidence or what, I don't know. But one thing I must say that I missed last 2 sessions and I'm regretting very much, to be honest. And after missing last 2 sessions, I'm back today and I feel really regretted, but very excited because all the topics today has been very exciting. The whole session has been exciting learning. I cannot finish my thank you. I really cannot finish. Everybody has done their part, and it's a millions of thanks to everyone. Starting from introduction, a very good introduction, very sharp introduction from our most experienced friend, Mike from Indonesia. Mr. Orang Dunia, I really salute you. You said it very right, Orang Dunia, you are a citizen of the world, no identity. That's, I believe, what the Agorians should be. Orang Dunia, citizens of the world, so we can bring up Agora in the world, everywhere in the world, slowly but steadily. I'm happy to see some very energetic young participants like Trisha from Indonesia and then Sakshi from India. We are old, but I believe these young energetic participants will always help us speeding up because we always get slowed down by the age, by mentality or whatever, except Mike. Sorry, Mike. I know you're young.
Yeah, I'm going backwards now.
Yeah. And definitely I'm very happy because Mr. President said that he is very proud. He is very proud because Agora is turning 4 years old and it has been a very dynamic team of Agora with full of dynamic members. But in no way I'll let him retire. No way. If he retires, Casey will also follow through. So we cannot afford to lose. So the president must not retire and the vice president education also must stay. That's my recommendation. Pratiti, a very good, well-explained meeting protocol, though you had some technical challenges, but it was done very clearly. Thank you, Pratiti. And I have nothing to say about Shona. If I start, I mean, she has been outstanding all through. Though I'm new in Agora, but outstanding. Shona, and I don't know what's happening with the other lady, some Abdullah, is it? We are missing her. But MC is a very challenging job because Shona had to monitor every minute. So that's the big challenge to be an MC. I had one experience before, so I know what is it. You just can't run away. But I had to run away twice, and Casey helped me. Thank you, Casey, for that. Now, another young and energetic guy, everybody knows him. Penguins can fly. Wilson the penguin, very energetic opening speech. Okay, so that's why I said young and energetic people we really need. And I really like the idea of believing yourself, right? I remember Wilson was even, hesitant asking for a glass of water when he was in a cruise ship from Malaysia to Singapore. And that Wilson is now talking so vibrantly. And he's really got it, believing in himself, giving him the opportunity to, explore his full potential. This is, I believe, why we are all here. We want to explore our full potential through Agora because it's a family, so we have nothing to lose. In a family member, we have nothing to lose, but learn from each other. Mr. Carlson Wang. All right, this was really, really exciting because in my previous session, I have seen the topics. So I choose what I like, but he has made it mysterious by giving us a number to choose. That's really exciting, Mr. Carlson. Thanks for the innovative idea. I'm not, and definitely it gives more thrilling because you don't know what's coming. And that's what was impromptu. You have to be excited, you have to be thrilled. And he has made it more thrilling by giving us not the topic, but choosing a number. So thank you so much, all the participants for your advices, because we learned a lot. Even though it was a very short time frame, 2 minutes, but we really learned a lot from this experience of sharing each other's advice. We agree that none of us are advisor in our real life, but looks like most of us spoke like professional advisors. I must agree. Thank you so much, everyone who participated in the impromptu session. And what can I say? Casey Chan, Mr. Powerful. Make it or lose it in 1 minute. This is something we all should remember, and we should really take it to make it, not to lose it. So we must take this 1 minute to make it. We should not lose it, especially for the young participant. You have your whole life ahead. So I always request you to remember this 1 minute, take it to make it, not 1 minute, take it to lose it. And of course, we need help. We need to practice, but before we practice, we must practice right. So to practice right, we need help. And it's good that we have help. We have so many helping hands. And of course, Casey is always there for professional help. You have his mobile number and you have the email. The president will always connect you with Casey if any help is needed, any professional help. It's really good to know that we have some professional help inside Agora. The prepared speech really impressed me a lot because every single topic was timely, was unique. A girl at 12 years age never gave up. A little girl, Shakshi from India, she never gave up until grade 10. And she tried until she was confident enough to approach directly to the teacher to take her. That's the spirit. That's the spirit of, I can also relate, penguin can fly. She believed in herself that she can fly. And she gained confidence and she approached the teacher and she made it. In one try, she won the competition. So that was really, really great. And evaluators did a good job, very good job. All the evaluators, starting from Albert and Samantha, good advice to her. I think she will carry those advices in her life so she can improve her better. The second speech, worry less, enjoy more. Another timely speech, very timely speech because of the COVID-19 situation. I really admire Ms. Sylvia Ong for rediscovering, reinventing her life. Because our life has been very stressful. I know what is life in Singapore and Hong Kong. I know life is stressful. I saw life in Singapore stressful. Then I went to Malaysia, everything vole. So it's relaxing. Then I went to Hong Kong. Wow, it's more stressful than Singapore. My goodness. It's people like it's a race. So I thought that, wow, it's not Singapore, it's Hong Kong most stressful. I don't know, there might be other cities even more stressful, like Tokyo, where I never lived, but I had some Japanese friends, they took it easy. To them, it was not stressful, but flying from Malaysia to Hong Kong, it was like too stressful for me. So Sylvia, her three precious things really touch me, I believe touch everyone. Awareness, attachment, abundance. From sleepless nights of losing job, losing her corporate identity, she has come back to a happy, healthy life just by reinventing herself of her awareness, attachment, and abundance. Awareness of what achievement she had, attachment of not fearing anymore about flying business class or branded goods, and abundance of not by being rich, not abundance of money, but abundance of health and happiness. That's what life is all about. At some stage, we all realize it, but mostly we realize it at very old stage. But she has realized it early in her career. So I really salute her to bringing up all these things to us so that we really value our life. Not we are always on the stress of on the corporate ladder. Okay, we should be raising our life towards our self-actualization, the Maslow's theory, which is universal. So always find our self-actualization and we go for it. We don't race with what other people think of it or what other people are wearing, what other people are accelerating in their careers. So happiness and health is very important, and this is another thing COVID-19 has taught us. Am I talking too much? Please. Dr. Carl Tang and Betty Teo, thank you very much again for your valued evaluation. And now comes to the third prepared speech, Mr. Kapil Chawla, Dream School. Definitely, it's a very practical and basic idea. I do not know why it is not happening everywhere. When I was young, I heard that in Norway, they do not take any exam. They just let people, students play for the first 4 or 5 years. They give them assignments. Okay, make homes, make things, make a ladder, and then climb up to your roof. So they try through this playing games, and they try to find out what is the student's potential. Then accordingly, they nurture the students in their primary school mentally, and then in secondary school, they start teaching the students those skills which will be needed to excel their lives. So this is an idea, the admission, then observation, education, and examination. It should be adopted to every single school. It should not be a dream school of his own, but it should be adopted every single school so that everybody learns about it. And it is good that it came from Kapil at not a very late time. And we all know Kapil. He is a man of balance. He's talking about skills because he is a skill man. He studied engineering, remember. So he knows what is a skill. And then he studied business. So how to protect business, he knows. I mean, how to do business. And then he studied laws, how to protect his business. So he has a skill, he has knowledge of doing business, and then he studied law. So how I can protect my business? A balanced man, and a very good idea from Kapil. Thank you, Kapil. And thanks again to the evaluator. Thanks, Sean Tan. I think he was traveling, but he made it right on time by stopping his car. Thank you so much. That's the spirit of Agora, you know. And again, my apology, I missed last 2 sessions. When I see Sean Tan, stopping his car and attending his session. I feel guilty not attending the last two sessions. Sorry, I'll try to be regular from next time. Miss Betty Theo, what a sharp observation. I must salute her. She pinpointed everything and she really tested us. She really tested us. And I was scared that whether she'll pick me, you know, I would be caught because she was very sharp. She didn't pick the normal things, something behind the scene. So especially Casey's blank screen also gave me a blank thought, you know, what is she talking about? Of course, we all know 1 minute, but we could not correlate with that blank screen. But she picked it very well, very intelligently. So I have, as I said in the beginning, I have millions of thanks to everyone. We see each other because the technical team did a very good job, Mr. Willie Law and his team. Without his effort and dedication, we really do not see each other. We really do not hear each other. It's his and his team's effort which is making us interacting each other from wherever we are in the world. Thank you so much, Willie and his team. And a very difficult job, of course, timekeeping. Timekeeping, it's a robotic job. And Mr. Chong Lim, who is a tech savvy, I think, he is a master of Manicam, and he's a tech savvy. I think that's why he managed it very well, very well. Thank you so much, Chong Lim. Thank you. Finally, I must say a big thanks to the president for making Agora to this, bringing this Agora to this stage, and Casey for keep teaching us, sharing your experience, sharing your learnings, and you too must not, the president must not retire, and Casey must not follow the president in retirement. That's my closing speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mashuk. You remembered everyone and you mentioned every segment and every person that was here at Agora. So thank you very much. We really enjoyed listening to you. Appreciate it. It really took the time and effort to go over everything. Thank you. So now we have almost come to the end of it. We've completed all items of business today. And thank you very much, everybody, Agorians now, you are, all of you, to be here and to be for being part of this day, of this evening's function. Really enjoyed listening to you, listening to your participation, your talk, your just coming in whenever it was needed, just playing your part and more. Thank you very much for letting today happen, as always. So our next meeting is on the 21st of August, which is a Friday. And thanks to Mike, who reminded me that it will be our anniversary, right? 3rd year, is it, Mr. Gay?
4th, coming up. The 4th anniversary.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, so looking forward to the next session. And so whoever, Casey? I pass it to Casey now. And whoever who would like to continue, stay on and to listen to the other announcements, please do stay on. Thank you very much.
Casey, the next meeting is on 1st September or 2nd August?
I'll text you later.
It's
okay. Now, thank you, everybody. Before we go, can we unmute ourselves and give Shauna a big round of applause?
Yay! Well done, Shauna.
Yay!
Great job.
Shauna, you did a very good job. Appreciate all the hard work. And I want to encourage everybody. Oops. Okay, I want to encourage everybody to practice, come forward to give a speech in any way to evaluate. Marshall is a very good example. He will take up every challenge that I posed to him. It's like when I asked him to take out the closing speech, he was like, oh dear, you know, but he did so well. Marshall, thank you for the good words, and you had paid attention, I have to say. Thank you very much. You know, so the speakers tonight our Agora Note production team will contact you about getting your note up. Thank you everybody for attending. For those who want to stay on, please stay on for our president debrief. Our next meeting is on the our next meeting. Sorry, our next meeting is not on the 1st September. Our next meeting is on the 21st September. Please note that. August, 21st August. I copied the wrong thing. Our next meeting is on the 21st August. Yes.
And Casey, you'll be coordinating with Mike on how to organize it on a global kind of basis for the fourth anniversary.
We might I might do this, okay, send a new link to log in same time as our Singapore meeting, but it will be on the international platform. We will continue with our meeting, we'll end the meeting and someone else will take over us in that way. Okay.
Yeah.
I might change the program a little bit just to fit the international event.
Yeah, right.
Say the plan at the moment is that Alex will start in Madrid at midday Spanish time. So I think that's just before your meeting.
Yeah.
So we need to work out what's happening. At the moment, there is a whole day being planned in Spanish for South America and obviously Spain. So it looks like we're going to have two roads, one in Spanish, one in English. And we need to liaise, obviously, with all of the English-speaking countries and work out what the sequence is. In this area, we will run into middle of the night problems. So we really want to go to America or back to Europe. So that's what I say. We need to work out who's involved. Sarawak are going to come in. Obviously, Indonesia will be there. We have several clubs, and that will probably be on Saturday morning and maybe Friday night. But we will give you prime place on Friday. So we don't want to overlap with you, but we'll see how it goes anyway.
Michael, you organize and then you tell us. That case, we will not plan our next meeting until we hear from you, because we want to follow your global plan.
Yeah, hopefully we can do that tomorrow. Helen and I are working on it, and obviously we need to contact people, but we need to get moving. Obviously, it's only a week away.
Okay.
So I'll try and do it either tomorrow or Saturday if there are still some stragglers. But I think for you, it shouldn't make any difference. I think your time slot fits in okay with Madrid, and we just have to have double clubs, overlap. If some of the European countries want to do it in Friday afternoon, but again, we just need to talk to them. So we're doing that at the moment.
Yep. Thank you, Mike.
So think of games, think of music, think of anything you like.
Yeah.
But let's make it a sort of fun event.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Mike.
it will be good to obviously introduce the world to Singapore and Indonesia and Sarawak. I don't know, is there a club in Malaysia, mainland? There's Sarawak, where Peter's in, but I haven't heard of anyone in KL or anywhere.
Mike, we will go into details with you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
let's close the meeting.
Thank you. So thank you, Mike. For a very quick explain. I try to explain to you. For those who do not know, Agora is celebrating 4 years, and they are planning a 24-hour meeting. 24-hour meeting, as in we have our own time. So once we have finished, someone will take over us in the same meeting. So it will carry on 24-hour. And it's quite interesting concept, and Singapore will be part of it. Okay, so please join us. Thank you all the first comer and all the young speakers. And we hope, we want you all to come back again, bring a friend, join us, and let's be a practitioner. Let's be successful helping one another. Okay, love you all. Be kind to one another. Fan Ping, back to you. For those who want to log out, good night to you.